one day, you guys, this is a crazy thought, but one day you may be a husband. You may be a father. You may have little children running around. You may have a beautiful wife that you care for. You take the kids to the park. You come home from a day's work and your wife has food set on the table. Oh, how lovely that would be. Maybe you'll go to church on Sunday. Maybe not. Maybe you just will read to the children. Maybe you'll go for walks. Maybe you'll have a little dog. How beautiful that would be. Maybe you'll live within a community where everyone sort of cares for each other. And you'll have a local library. And you'll teach your children how to read. And you'll raise them. And you'll show them your weight room down in the basement. You'll teach them how to use kettlebells. You'll take them to the grocery store and help them learn to eat good food, because from the time they're young babies, you won't be feeding them Gerber food. No, you'll be letting them suck on their mother's titty. You'll be giving them that heavenly milk that they were meant to have, not any baby formula. You'll feed them good food, not Kellogg's, Rice Krispies. And they'll learn, and they'll grow, and they'll be strong, and they'll know the right ways because you taught them. One day that will happen, and then they'll live in a world that is dictated by you now, that you have already lived in for the previous years. You've lived in that. You've had some sort of influence on that world that your children will now live in, and they'll look to you as their dad, as their father, and they'll either love you or hate you. You know, you might not even be around. They'll either thank you or they'll curse your name, man. Because their life will be hell. And it starts with us being the father of ourselves. I think that there's an awakening. There's some deep truths that are coming out in this day and age. I think by the technology that we have to communicate in a global way. And so we're finding things out, and we realize that we have to make change. There's got to be some sort of change if we want to live life fully, if we want to father children one day, if we want our children to survive, if we want their earth to flourish, we have to change. If we don't want there to be wars that kill everyone and everyone's in turmoil and, we're losing it, we got to stay together. So there's a few things that I believe are very important. And one of those things is the fact that it's easy to experience shame. And what shame does is it gets inside of you and it isolates you. And we're not supposed to be isolated. We're never meant to be isolated for too long. Shame isolates you. And then you can't look people in the eyes. You can't be a man. You can't be that person that helps other people. You got a lot of shame weighing down on you. You don't make progress. So we have to guard our hearts against shame. If we look to, let's just go back and we look at what works. I mean, a tribe works. A group of people working together for a goal works. You raise family, have these teachers, you have the mothers, the fathers, the chief, the uncle, the grandmother, the wise sage, the herbal healer. That works, but we're sort of getting away from that. Our shame, whether that be from, how does shame come about? Many different ways. Maybe shame comes about when we know that we're not living rightly. We're not living correctly. We're doing things that are bringing us away, not bringing us together. And so we have to be wise. We have to start to look for those things. Life seems pretty good. The world seems pretty good, looking out of the window right now, a lot of green grass, a lot of houses, plenty of 2018 cars going by, a motorcycle. There's also a lot of junk, a huge amount of junk that's being thrown at us. There's these large corporations selling food that we do not need to be eating. Imagine if we just shut down those. We changed it. We had people aware that fast food is garbage. It's calorie dense garbage. Yes, it's cheap, but if you're poor, you can still make wiser decisions. You can still get some beans rather than a cheeseburger. You can still get some quinoa rather than a taco. We're like killing ourselves. We're like making ourselves inflamed and unhappy and anxious and depressed. And we continue to grow that empire, whether that be from lack of awareness or the ability not to say no. We don't have that yet. Look back to a tribe. What is a man? The man, the leader of the group, strong. You're able to foster children, fertility. You're able to be a king. You're able to hunt. You're able to defend yourself and your team. You can't be a leader. You can't be weak in body. It'll transfer to your mind. You can't walk around and be lethargic, eating donuts and not working out. You have to work out. You have to do some sort of physical activity these days. We're not building stuff really anymore with our hands. We're not chopping down trees. We're sitting in our cars. We're sitting in our house. We're sitting at our desk. We're sitting. We're becoming a chair. I'm sitting right now. A little more chair-like. I have to work out. I have to be strong. I have to work out my body as it was made to be, so that I can feel like a man again. Or else I'm not. I'm just not. And so you have to lift. You have to train. You have to do some sort of intense exercise that pushes you, that strains the muscle and breaks it down. And then you have to eat good food. You have to stop eating fast food. And then maybe one day, say you have the ability, you can plant your own food. And we can stop feeding all these giant corporations that just keep pushing all this junk. Just shut them down. Open up some other restaurant. Go out to eat to somewhere nice. Going out to eat is great. But it's better cooking for yourself. There's an art to cooking that a lot of people just give up. Oh, it takes too much time. Cook for yourself, man. It feels fucking great. You feel like a man. Having someone else cook your food for you. These little slaves at the Chipotle line. It's like, yeah, man, I've been going to Chipotle too these last couple of weeks. Got to cut that shit out. All right? It's junk. It's owned by like McDonald's. It's just, say no to that. Teach people. Teach your loved ones. Teach your family. Teach your girlfriend. Your girlfriend probably don't know shit, bro. She needs you to be that king. Fucking step up, dude. She comes in the house with Doritos, snatch that shit and throw it out of the window. She don't need that shit, dude. Snatch that shit up. You see your sister sucking out a Coca-Cola? Like, no, man. That's not happiness. That is insulin spiked. Diabetes. You think of America, you think of all these fat people. Yeah, there's a ton of fat people, dude. A lot of fat people eating a lot of garbage. Sitting around doing nothing. Binging on Netflix. Eating Pepsi. Like, you think of America, you think of Coca-Cola. No. It's like, no, that's not what I want my nation to be known for, man. We're a nation of greatness. We got to be great. Not just the U.S., but wherever you are. All of us, this is a call to get back to living rightly, justly. Of getting out of shame. To getting into the light. To being able to talk with other people. To be able to figure things out. To stop being a cunt. Stop isolating yourself and being a cunt. This is avoiding pornography and masturbation. I think there's times where maybe we watch old no-fap videos that I used to make. And we're motivated to start. And then as time goes on, you think to yourself, well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Porn is going to work its way into you like a little worm. And the more that you let it grow, it disconnects you. You experience shame. It is a band-aid for the discontent, for the chronically dissatisfied man that, cannot fulfill relationships in his real life. Or that is using this, it is drawn to the act. Because it's there, because it's stimulating, because it's It's driving itself right to the primordial place of reward that you used to have to work for back in the day. It's shortcutting that circuitry, and we got to be careful. The effects of that are great. I think they're doing a couple things. They're ruining the marriages. They're ruining our relationships. They're ruining our understanding of women and beautiful women. Being able to perceive them as beautiful and lovely. There's a lot of men going their own way. There's a lot of hatred towards women, and we're quick to blame feminism, and we're quick to blame that's just them, and women are different from us. But it's also on us to be strong, to be capable, to be men, and let women be women, and to be that role of the lover, of the king, even when your woman may be a little bit batshit insane. But I think that we've also made it such a predicament. We've made it. We've escalated it so much that we forgot that this is just another human being, another creature. They're just like us. They love to talk. They're not difficult. We make it so complicated, and yet we're so chronically dissatisfied that we can't. That we don't feel that love and that connection for someone else. That one day we'll maybe start a family with them. We can't even go up and say hi without like shaking and getting terrified. And when you do it and you actually realize that wasn't so bad. It's just another human being. They were so nice and they like to talk. And we can hang out sometime. That would be lovely. Right? We got to get away. Stop masturbating. Stop watching porn. Stop masturbating. All right? Start doing something else. You can do plenty of other things than masturbate. We got to start living, with those principles. And I think that sometimes you might have to pump those principles into your head. Because as you get increasingly isolated, if you're on your phone all day and the time is being wasted, another shameful thing that we catch ourselves doing, there's no return there. We catch ourselves mindlessly looking at these models, looking at these other people's lives. Such a waste of fucking time. Doesn't teach us anything, doesn't show us how to live. Maybe it does show us how to live in the wrong way. Your mind is renewed by the day. Renew your mind daily with the right things, and it'll bear fruit, man. It'll bear fruit. I've been reading the Bible lately. I've been reading it every morning for the last 3 weeks. A couple chapters. Proverbs. If you have a Bible, start at Proverbs. Very simple. Ecclesiastes after that. Psalms. Very inspiring, filled with principles, direction for how to live. Direction for how to live, man. Find people in your community. Love, make peace with those around you, with the people in your workplace. If you don't like it, leave work. Go somewhere. Start to think, what am I capable of doing? You're capable of a lot, man. But remember, we're creating the world. We're molding it. It's on that wheel. And we're just shaping it right now, right? So we're molding that thing. And it starts with you. And connect with your community, because you cannot do it alone. You're not going to be able to do it alone, man. You got to find friends that can help you. I'll see you soon. Peace.